Fire-type Pokemon are finally getting some love in the Pokemon TCG. Entei has found its home with Iron Valiant EX, and Charizard EX is tearing up tournaments. It is winning left, right, and center. However, there's another Fire-type Pokemon EX that I believe is pretty strong. It has really good stats, and it's actually super overlooked right now, and that is Armarouge EX. Now, you might not have even seen this card before, and you might have no idea what it does, but don't worry. I'm going to reveal all. I'm going to tell you about Armarouge EX. I'm going to make a case for it, and I'm going to see how we can make this card work in a very explosive deck. What is going on, everybody? Hitmon Channing here, back again with another Pokemon trading card game online deck tech. Today, we're here in PTCG Live taking a look at my Armarouge EX deck. But before we get into the list, I want to say thank you to the sponsor of the channel, PTCGL Store. If you need codes, you know where to go. Head over to PTCGOstore.com and use code Hitmon to get 5% off your order. You get a good product for a good price, and you help out the channel as well. So, thanks to the sponsor for supporting me, and thanks to you for supporting me too. And now, we're going to get into this deck. This is a bit of a fun deck, I'm not going to lie. I am having a blast with it, no pun intended, and that's Armarouge EX. Now, it has two really cool attributes that I wanted to cover. The first is its ability, Crimson Arbor, which lets you take 80 less damage if you have full HP. And we can combine that with the recently released Rigid Band from Pokemon 151 that will let our Stage 1 Pokemon take 30 less damage from attacks, essentially giving this Armarouge 110 extra health before it gets hit by anything. And even if that damage is completely, it's completely nullified, you still keep that buff, so that damage can actually scale even higher. Sorry, the HP can scale even higher. And now, how are we gonna get Armarouge powered up? I mean, its Scorching Bazooka attack only costs 2 colorless energy, but it does 48 plus 40 more damage for each fire energy that's attached to it. Well, we're gonna use a Charizard package, but it might not be in the way that you think. We're gonna start, obviously, we have 2 copies of Obsidian Flames Charizard in here, literally just for its Infernal Rain ability, because you can use it to attach 3 basic fire energy, throw them on your Armarouge. Then we're gonna use another Charizard from Pokemon Go with Burn Brightly, which will double all of those energies. And now, all of a sudden, for 3 energies in Armarouge EX, with a Charizard from Pokemon Go in play, you're going to be doing 280 damage. And now this deck, I think, is absolutely insane. When you pull the combo off, it is so satisfying and so much fun. And it can actually pull its weight because Armarouge actually has more HP than Charizard EX does at the beginning of the game. So it can tank a hit, do a bunch of damage, and then in the late game, you can use Charizard EX to clean up because its Burning Darkness can only be used for 1 energy when you have Burn Brightly Charizard in play. So we're rocking a 3-2 line of Charcadet and Armarouge, and we also have one of the other Armarouge from Scarlet and Violet, which can let us move fire energy from our bench Pokemon to our active Pokemon, which can help us power up Charizard or other Armarouge EX. We have a 4-1-2-2 line of the Charizard package, as well as 1 Jirachi, 1 Manaphy, and a Rotom V. The Rotom V is super clutch, helping you draw cards in the early game. Now, energy-wise, we have 9 fire energy, and I wanted to cover that first because then I'm going to talk a little bit about the other cards in the deck and how they interact with the energy, because that, let's face it, energy is the most important part of this deck here. We are playing the Arven package, so not too different from your standard Charizard lists, but this is for good reason. One, obviously, Arven's really good. You want to go second, you search your VIP, search your Forest Sealstone, put that on Rotom, and you get a big combo going. We are trying to put 2 Stage 2s into play, but in doing so, we're trying to have an insanely tanky attacking Pokemon that literally cannot be knocked out except for like very specific cases. So that's kind of the whole goal of the deck. We're also playing 4 Rare Candies in here, as well as 2 Level Ball and 4 Ultra Ball. Now, our stadium of choice is actually going to be Magma Basin, which is going to help us recycle those fire energies. That's why we only have 9. And then we can also use cards like the Armarouge to bring them to our active Pokemon, or Super Rod to recycle them and reuse them with Charizard. We are rocking 1 copy of Escape Rope in here, 2 of those Rigid Bands, and then for our supporters, we have 1 Research, 1 Colress, and 3 Iono, as well as 2 Boss. You know, this is a very aggressive deck, you know, believe it or not, and I actually am really a fan of the way these cards are split up, because if you get your combo going early, you draw extra cards with Rotom. If your opponent doesn't disrupt that hand, you can basically go Armarouge, double Rare Candy, and Boss and blow anything up on your second turn. So it's really cool. This deck is super fun, and I'm very excited to show it to you guys. So we're not going to wait any longer. We're going to just hop into some games, get some dubs with Armarouge EX. Our opponent is calling the coin flip. I do believe that they chose heads. So they did win the flip, and they're going to choose whether they want to go first or second here. They're going to make us go first, which isn't great. That's not what we want, but if we get lucky, we could be a-okay with our setup here. We did get lucky. As long as Rotom's in the deck, we got lucky. And I hope Rotom's in the deck. We're going to see what we're up against here. TM Devo, Heavy Ball. It is going to be Rapid Strike, so could be tough. What I'm a little confused why they wanted us to go first here. Rotom is in the hand, thankfully. Because I don't think they know about our Armarouge Spice. So hopefully we're going to be able to pull that off. So we're going to grab double Charcadet. We did press Jirachi, which sucks. But hopefully next turn we can get our Armarouge play going and be a-okay with that. I actually do want to play the rope now. And the reason I want to do that is because I don't want to rope when they have something else in play. Like, for example, if they have a like a Remoraid, I don't want to rope after, like, and then just take the one prize. I want to hit 2 prizes here. Like, I want to go all out. They opened double VIP pass. They didn't even need to go second. Double Urshifu down as well. So we got to grab our Manaphy next turn, which shouldn't be too tough off of an Iono to 6. Like, we should be fine. We should find something one way or another. There's a Lumineon. I'm guessing they're going to Iono us. I really hope that's not the case. Thankfully it's not. Because we had Rare Candy SVI in hand, and then we have Iono for next turn. So I'm guessing here they're going to get... Oh, TM Evo! That makes a lot of sense. I see. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. So this is an interesting Rapid Strike list. I've never seen anything like this before, so you're going to be experiencing it for the first time with me. Right here, right now. They're going to TM Evo, which is really cool. And they're probably going to do Urshifu and Inteleon, or like Inteleon and Octillery would be my guess, but they got Urshifu. Urshifu and Octillery, that's not my guess. Because they do need to go for a Rapid Flow. I don't know what they're planning on this turn, to be honest. But I do know that I want to Rare Candy into my Charmander, or into my Charizard, I should say. And I want Infernal Rain. And all 3 are going to be going on this Charcadet for sure. I do believe I can knock the Inteleon out with this manual attachment as well, which is really good. And I think I'm going to Ultra Ball these 2 away. And we're going to grab Armarouge. I want to calculate exactly how much damage we're doing right here. So I do believe with 1 more energy we'll be one-shotting, so that's good. Again, now I think I do want to Iono here. If we could get ourselves, like, our other evolutions, that would be great. We could go for the Zard here. Honestly, we could. And I think I will. At this point, I don't want to risk it. I think we'll go for the Star Alchemy. Because, let me tell you why. I'm going to read Armarouge's ability to you. So we got our other Zard. Armarouge's ability, since it takes 80 less from your opponent's Pokemon after weakness and resistance, and Inteleon is doing 280 after weakness and resistance, minus 80, we are going to actually be surviving a hit from Inteleon VMAX. We're surviving a hit from Rapid Strike Urshifu, no matter what. So I'm fine with getting this Armarouge, like, up running immediately. That way, they can bring up an Inteleon, that's fine. We're one-shotting it right now. They can't one-shot it unless they have, like, a very specific combo where they can find Radiant Alakazam, they can double Gunner, they can grab Inteleon, grab Rapid Strike Energy, attach, move the damage counters on Armarouge, getting rid of its ability, and then attack us, which is what I'm not hoping for. I hope they don't do that. That would terrify me. That would terrify me, because then we would be in a really terrible spot. But thankfully, as long as we find an energy, we're going to be able to attack with Charizard EX anyways. So that is a-okay. There's a Rapid Strike Surge. I'm guessing it's just going to be for the Rapid Strike Energy. It's going to be for the Inteleon VMAX. That's pretty interesting. See, I'm very curious about this list because I'm like, what do they play? You know, like, what kind of... Okay, they got double Gunner. I'm guessing it's just going to be a Charcadet and a Rotom target down. Or Rotom and Zard, that works too if they go for TM Devo play. There's the Rapid Strike Energy. And I'm hoping they just attack. Never thought I would say this, but I just want them to attack. There's G-Max Spiral. Beautiful. I'm curious if they play Karina, because if they play Karina, then they could have drawn more off that Octillery, but maybe they were just going for that, and maybe they don't know the true... This is the true power of Armarouge. You could never do this with a regular Charizard deck. I'm thinking right here, do I want to go for the Arven? If we want to go for Colress, I think I probably actually want to go for Colress here. Colress is going to get me Ultra Ball. Colress is going to get me another Zard. And I think Colress is going to grab me, definitely with that VIP. I think the other Arven's going to grab me as well, because I can search multiple times, right? Here, I think I want to grab another Charizard. We'll take a look what's in the deck. I actually kind of want to get rid of this Arven. Grab the other Charmander, because Rapid Flow is not doing like an insane anything to me right now. And we do have a bunch of energy, so I do want to grab the other Charmander. And the most insane card ever, Armarouge EX, boom, 360. Just casual 360. How are they knocking us out now? They need to be able to, like, they can go in with, what's it called? They can go in with Urshifu. But now at this point, if we lead Charcadet and we get Rare Candy Zard, we literally just win. We can still one-shot the Urshifu with Armarouge. Do you understand how insane that is? Now, I'm guessing they're going to grab Tower of Waters here. Boom, retreat, get rid of the Armarouge, and that's going to be their game plan. They are going to grab Karina. Okay, so, basically, if they do not disrupt our hand here, which I don't think they are, is TM Devo. TM Devo is a bit of a pain, I won't lie, because it knocks out the Armarouge, but it doesn't knock out this Charizard. We do need more rare candies, though. We need, like, double rare candy, which is bad, which means we have to top deck a rare candy to proceed with our game plan. So that would kind of suck. The TM Devo here really isn't great. Oh, actually, it's fine, though, because as long, like, we literally just need, we have boss. Oh, it's not fine. We need the rare candy. The rare candy is the key here. I do think I want to lead the Charcadet, though, still. Or we could just go into... We could just go into Zard. Maybe we'll do that. Like, I don't think there's ever a benefit to leading Charcadet. Maybe there is. Because if we top deck Rare Candy either way, we're fine. Maybe we still want to be hitting with Charcadet. Oh, wait, we just have Armarouge in hand. Never mind. We still want to lead. We'll still lead with the Charcadet for now. Another Magma Basin. It's not exactly what I want. We will use it onto this Charmander. Bench. Yeah, it's a bit tragic here, because we got an Arven now. Grab a Rare Candy. We can grab Rigid Band too, which is actually pretty solid, because now this guy can be evolved. We can evolve. See, we needed the other Rare Candy. Yeah, so that was a little bit tough, I won't lie. Like, that was a little bit of a tough devolve there. We'll use Infernal Rain, though. We'll get 3 energies, and we'll put them all on Armarouge. I'm trying to think. I don't think there was a way that I could have won that turn. I'm just going through all the plays in my head. I don't think there was. So there we go. We'll grab the band there, and I think now I can... I don't want to get rid of Jirachi, but I think it's the right call for this instance. These are all other important cards. Actually, yeah, no, they're all important. I need to do that, and I need to grab Manaphy here. And now if I attach the Armarouge, I'm going to be doing 200. I'm literally just a boss away from winning, so that's fine. We can do 200 to this Urshifu here. Yeah, okay, that was a tough go. I was like, oh, we have it in hand, and we didn't have it in hand. But next turn, if they're gonna rapid flow us, they're just hitting into this Armarouge, and they're doing 10 damage, and then we just win. Escape Rope, I'm not super fond of. I think I do want to go into the Zard here, because we just need an energy anyways. So if they do that, they could punch us, that's fine. They're going to Iono us to 1, which I am not a fan of. We had a bunch of supporters in our hand. If we find energy, we're good. Level Ball's not what I want here. So they can Octillery and switch and do anything that they want. Radiant Alakazam comes down 2 is pretty bad. It can hit our Armarouge with damage counters, which I don't like. Man, this is turning out to be pretty bad. That Iono to 1, Iono to 1 really hurts. But if we can hopefully just top deck it like a crazy supporter, then we'll be okay. We do have a lot still. We still have double Iono. So I'm not super... Yeah, but like, we need the research. The research is at the bottom. We could get Arven as well. Arven could almost help us. There's a Gale Thrust. from that guy. There's Boss, but we don't have the energy in play. Do I want a Basin here? I don't know if I want a Basin. I'll Level Ball, and at least we can grab Charmeleon, which is good. We can grab Charmeleon. And do I want a Basin? Does Basining ever do anything for me? I guess it does. Like, I guess I still want a Basin to this Charmeleon because they don't have any Inteleons down. There's no real reason not to at that point. And now we instant charge. So hopefully we're in a good position. We find our boss. We don't find any energies, which is like insane. Or any way to get Charizard for that matter. We should have we have two Charizards we have 3 Charizards that can help us. We have Ultra Ball. We have double Arven. Another TM Devo coming down, which I'm not really a fan of. But at that point, I think we're actually kind of okay if we can go up with Armarouge. And they're going to prep that Rapid Flow. And they're going to Iono us again, because of course they have it again. Hopefully this gives me the Charizard I desire. Nope, it's another Magma Basin. At least hopefully that's all of their TM Devos that they need. Because man, this is a painful experience. Thankfully the Armarouge, I don't think it can get one shot by anything anyways right now. So it's just a matter of time at this point. We have 1 prize remaining, and both of our bosses are at the bottom now that our active Charizard is going to get knocked out. Man, this is like, I'm stressed right now because I really want to win, you know? And they're going to devolution. At least nothing on the bench gets knocked out. Our active guy gets knocked out. Not a fan of that, but that's okay because we'll still lead our Charcadet. Actually, maybe we'll still lead the Charmander. No, there's no point. We want to keep those energies in play. We'll lead Charcadet. Get Ultra Ball. So I will throw this Armarouge back up here. We're going to be doing 200. I will put this here on the Charmeleon. That's 40. Again, there's no, what's it called? Put this here because that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we have an energy left. Even if we put this here, that brings it to 8. And if they Devo again, then they lose. So that's fine because again, no Inteleon in play. And now it's not worth me shuffling up. Scorching Bazooka. Okay, there we go. 200 damage. Man. I think that's all their Ionos. They played 2. Some of these Rapid Strike decks play 3 again. I've never faced one like this, so I don't know for sure. But, man, I'm hoping they don't Iono us. Even, you know what? Maybe they want to Iono us again. That's okay. We have Ultra Ball. We can get our other Charizard to go for a one-hit knockout. They got Quara. So thankfully, as long as they don't knock out Armarouge this turn, we win. That was so crazy. That was actually so crazy. You have no idea. That was like an insane game there. Because yeah, as long as we're able to Ultra Ball here, we can get our other Charizard. And that lets us one-shot anything. So if they Sherald here and then they somehow knocked out this Charmeleon, we would have been in a bad spot. But we're making it. There is the Forest Seal Stone. They can't Iono us. I can't get traumatized for the 3rd time in a row. And hopefully the cards fall in our favor for Armarouge to win. But I'm going to talk a little bit about earlier on. They're going to Rapid Strike, so they're going to find their whatever they want to find here. I don't know what they want to find. Yeah, there's no room for shenanigans. They can't they can't go for another Devo or else they lose. They can't play Hawlucha to bump our damage and then Alakazam it because their bench is full. They can't Iono us out of the game-winning Ultra Ball in hand. They can't there's nothing. They got nothing on us. Nothing on us right now. Thankfully. They got nothing on us. So they might Octillery here. They could go for a Gale Thrust. That won't knock us out because it's only going to do 120. They could go for Rapid Flow, which will only hit our Armarouge and it'll only do less. They are bringing that guy into the active, which does mean that we have successfully won the game here. Whew. That was close. Oh man, you don't know how I'm feeling right now. There's painful spoons coming out. Yeah, there's nothing they could do to knock out the Armarouge here. They would have to wait one more turn. Us being able to one-shot that Inteleon on VMAX was huge because we stopped them from spreading the damage counters, right? That was like an insane play. They're gonna Rapid Strike Search, grab a Tower of Waters, I'm guessing, or grab even Intel VMAX for next turn. That works fine. Attach. All right. We are chilling. We are chilling. Whew. Yeah. There's the Gale for us for a measly 120. It doesn't matter. We have the Ultra Ball in our hand, and we don't even need it, but I still want to do it anyway. I still want to go for the Ultra Ball here. Grab ourselves our good pal Burn Brightly Charizard. I want to throw him on the bench, and I want to do 360 with Scorching Bazooka for the knockout. We took a 2-prizer and 2 3-prizers with this Armarouge. Armarouge put in the work in this game, and I couldn't be happier. Taking the dub. Man, that was a stressful game, but you know what? Armarouge proved why it's so good. Armarouge just proved why it's so good in this game, and I'm happy. I'm a happy guy. I can't hide it, you know? Our opponent is calling the coin flip here. They chose heads, so tails never fails, as I always say. And this deck does want to go second. There we go. We got tails. So we're absolutely going to choose to go second here. We want to play our Arven, get our VIPs, want to get multiple VIPs if possible. Literally just go through our deck insanely quickly. And now this is like a solid hand. I'm not really going to complain about this. I'm going to put both of them down because, you know, in the case that we do get, we are playing against Anti-Iron Valiant, for example, I want these guys to be protected so we don't instantly lose the game. My opponent starts with Manaphy, but they do have the Battle VIP in hand, so I'm a bit curious what exactly we are up against here. Could be literally anything. Could be Chempao, could be some sort of Lost Zone deck, could be, I don't know, literally anything. I mean, that deck can afford to put Manaphy in at some point, depending on what matchups we're trying to deck for. So yeah, I'm curious to see what exactly this is. Could be Gardevoir as well, and could be Charizard, and it looks like it is going to be Charizard. They got the Charmander and they got the Rotom down, so I think they're probably just going to go for an instant charge here. To me, that seems like probable because they know we can't take a turn 1 knockout, which is fine. We don't really need to, because as long as we can get 4 energy on a Charcadet and both of our Charizards in play, we are literally going to be like, we can one-shot a Charizard EX. Like, that's how powerful it is. There's instant charge. Thankfully, we have the Iono in hand. Another Fire Energy, that's fine to put at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to start powering our Charcadet up, and I want to go for the Iono here. Putting them down to lower cards is really, really good, and basically, I just want to find, we can get rid of the Jirachi. The Rigid Band, is that really ever going to be helpful? I don't think so. I want to get another Charmander down in order to protect, like, make sure we can pull off our double candy combo if we so choose to. But actually, maybe I'm going to grab Rotom here. I would have liked to have one more basic search, but I think the Rotom is more crucial, especially considering our Charcadet can survive a hit. So now I'm going to go for Rotom, bring myself back up to 6 cards. Oh, those Battle VIP passes would have been awesome earlier. Yeah, so that kind of sucks. Hopefully we didn't just give them Rare Candy Charizard and make them have to work for it a little bit more, which would be okay with me. I really would have loved to get, if I could have gotten another Charmander down there, things would have been exquisite. Things would have been incredible if I could have gotten one more Charmander into play, because then I basically would have been able to guarantee, or somewhat guarantee, a double candy depending on the top deck. They're going to grab another Charmander off their Artisan. No Town Store or any shenanigans like that, which is good, so they can't just fetch the Forest Seal Stone. And they are going to get the Arven, so they do have the Rare Candy Charizard. They could just grab it off the Arven, they Forest Seal Stone on Rotom, and boom, you're good to go. You have your Charizard, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. And they're going to knock out the Charmander, it looks like. Now, the good part about this is that we can power up Charcadet and, you know, go for our Rare Candy Zard. And through doing that, we are going to be able to, like, survive basically 80 damage off of this Charizard. So we're gonna force them to 2-hit us, and then we can just 2-hit them with Armarouge, and then we can start the Charizard trade after. So I'm kind of okay with that. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, not the best thing in the world. It's kind of just whatever, you know? And they're only taking 1 prize here, which I don't think that's the correct way to play the Charizard matchup. Because this is a kind of a Charizard E deck at the end of the day. I think that you should be poking with small Charmanders, not putting the 2-prizer up, because basically if we hit into the Zard first, we're very, very favored. Now they do have their 4 Seal Stones still, which isn't something I accounted for. I thought they were gonna have to use it, but they didn't have to, so that's interesting. And now I'm gonna lead the Charcadet here. Don't want to have to play the Escape Rope. We're gonna start with Artisan. Make sure we have our Armarouge. We do have Armarouge. We do have Rare Candies, I believe. So that's a-okay. So this Arven is going to have to grab the 4 Seal Stone, and it's going to have to grab Rare Candy. Yeah, I think that's fine. See, this is why if we had the double combo, we literally would have been able to knock out this Charizard here, which would have been absolutely insane. I'm going to start with Star Alchemy. I'm just going to grab an Ultra Ball, and I want to thin those VIPs out of my hand, out of the deck. I want to get them out of here forever, because I don't want them to clog us up later in the game when we eventually just continuously get Iono'd. So this Armarouge is going to come into play here, and we do have the Rare Candy. So right now we're doing 80 damage, and basically we want to put it into 2-shot territory. That's all we need to do. 80, I can do 120 with another energy, and 160 with 1 more, and then I can start powering up the Charizard as well, which I think I would rather do, because I just need to attach an energy onto this Armarouge, and then I can one-shot it with the Armarouge. So I'm pretty content with that. I want to start getting Charizard powered up just in case something else happens. Will I regret that? Maybe, but I hope not. And eventually the plan is to just put our other Charizard into play, our Pogo Charizard, so it is able to effectively double all these energies in play. And then they're never really going to want to take it out, because it'll let us get another attack with the Charizard for free. Now they do get a Pidgey down, which isn't great for us. Like, they have the 4 Seal Stone, which means they are going to be able to Rare Candy Pidgeot next turn. And they're just prepping their other Charmander or Charmeleon, which is fine. I'm not super upset about that, because they only have a 2-card hand. So, like, you know, there's not much happening. I don't think they have a supporter in hand, because if they do, there's probably no reason to put that 4 Seal Stone down, unless I'm thinning her. They're just going to... Oh, I was like, are they going to instant charge? No, okay, we're good. So they're going for the 4 Seal Stone now, which I don't know if I like that play from them, because if they, like, it's hard to say, because I have Iono, but I really don't want to Iono them into a larger hand. However, I don't like the idea of them just being able to keep whatever they got off the 4 Seal Stone. So they might end up going for their own Iono, or they might 4 Seal Stone for a research. And if they research here, then I might consider Ionoing them, because 2 cards, or they're going to Iono us. Again, that's completely fine. Again, I'm not mad at that. It gives us extra cards and an extra supporter to work with. And just like that, we find our energy, so we're good to go in terms of attacking and taking knockout with this Armarouge. And basically forcing them to 2-shot this Armarouge, it does the same thing as forcing them to 2-shot a Charizard, right? So now we can focus on getting our other Charmander to become a Charizard here. And then we are going to be a-okay. Now I think I'm going to still use the Artisan. They're going to hit us Burning Darkness for 100. That's fine with me. And we get Iono off the top. So yeah, so we got to attach again to this Armarouge, but I think I first want to go for Artisan, get another Charmander down. And yeah, we have 1 Rare Candy left. We did prize 2, which could be a bit of trouble, so we really would like to get our Charmeleon into play here. So I'm going to start with the Colress Experiment. There's our Charmeleon, and now Holy Supporters. So I'm not too sure how I want to play this aspect of it. I think I'd rather grab Boss and probably another Iono. I think multiple Ionos are going to be very important here, to just continuously disrupt my opponent's hand. Now there's Charmeleon going there. We will put the other Charcadet down, and I will attach the Armarouge here, And now, boom, we can go Scorching Bazooka for 200, and we take out this Charizard, and we get to take the first 2 prizes of the game. So now our goal from here is to just go Charizard, and then Charizard one more time. Now, the only thing in this deck is we don't have damage mods, so we're still going to be playing a 2-shot game, but basically, hopefully at the end, we're just able to boss that Rotom and just KO it, or boss the Pidgeot once we deal with this active Charizard that we're most definitely going to hit. They're going to go for the Artisan here. I'm guessing another Pidgey is going to come down because a late game Pidgeot KO can be very tragic for a Charizard deck, right? It can be very tough, but they actually opted to get the other Charmander. So I'm curious to see what exactly happens here. They played a Rare Candy. They're 2 Arven down. They're an Ultra Ball down. There's a Lost Vacuum coming out, which isn't really going to do much for us. I honestly don't know why they're playing it because we can't even use Artisan. I mean, like, why did they Lost Vacuum instead of Lost City? Maybe they're not getting an attack this turn, but there comes an Iono from them, putting a bunch of our energies to the bottom of the deck, which is fine because we do find our Charizard EX here, so we can power it up. And they're going to go for their Charizard EX, so they're going to be able to take out our Armarouge, but I'm honestly okay with that because, you know, they're taking out our Armarouge, we're just going to hit them back with Charizard, and everything is going to be a-okay. So yeah, I'm not super concerned right now. There's the Burning Darkness, 240 damage, knocking out the Armarouge, and they get to take 2 prizes, and now we just get to swing super hard into this Charizard. We're going to lead this one right here, and I'm kind of debating how I want to play down the rest of this hand. Like, do I want to give them the access to the other energies with the Magma Basin? I don't particularly think I do. I will put this Charcadet down, and I think I'll go for Charizard here, because I would just like to do double Charizard, right, at the end of the game here. I'll grab 1, 2, and I'll put the last one on Charcadet, I think is okay. And here, yeah, I'll just hit with Burning Darkness, because now I'm forcing them to get another Charizard. They have to hit into us, I hit into them. If they KO this Charizard, I just KO with our other Charizard, and then we're okay. So they're like, at this point, they're kind of forced to put a Charizard into play. They got no bench space for a Radiant Charizard, and plus, Radiant Charizard wasn't actually included in Azul's winning list over this past weekend in San Antonio, so I feel like a lot of players are going to be cutting it. They're going for a retreat here, which is fine for them going into Manaphy, attaching to the Zard. Not too sure. They might go for an instant charge, and in that case, I might go for an instant charge as well. There is zero reason for us to knock this Manaphy out. They're going to instant charge, I can instant charge too, you know, unless we just top deck boss. In that case, I will use it, but we did not top deck boss. So at this point, I could play the Magma Basin, start powering up another Charcadet, which I want to, and I'm going to tell you why. It does give them a little bit of an advantage as well, I won't lie. But in giving them this advantage, we're still in an advantageous state here, so I'm not super concerned. Like, we would have been in top deck mode for days. We would have hit them for a prize that didn't matter. They can't actually Magma Basin to this Charizard EX because it is a dark type technically and not a fire type. So again, I'm completely fine just wasting a turn. You know, if we give them their Pidgeot, that's okay with me. What are they really gonna do to you know, to do anything crazy here? They could go boss game. That is a possibility from them. There's the Pidgeot, but in order to do that, they gotta put a Charizard up. So if we're able to find an Iono, we Iono them to a low card count, then we just knock out the Zard. I'm really not gonna complain too hard about it. We're also gonna drop that Rigid Band on the Charcadet. So yeah, I'm kind of just trying to foolproof myself a little bit here. Like, knocking out the Manaphy wouldn't have done anything. We would literally just be taking an extra knockout and making their damage go higher. So yeah, there's a Fire Energy on Charizard. They can quick search for a switching card, but maybe they won't succeed in their endeavor. I don't know if they play any switching cards. 5. That is all. If this is Azul's list, which I don't know, that is all 7 energy accounted for. So they have to put extra damage on this Charmander, making it all the more easy for us to knock it out. And I'm basically trying to just get our other Charizard into play, our Burn Brightly Charizard. If we're able to find a Rare Candy, either through drawing it or off the prizes, that is my goal here. And now I'm debating if I should take the knockout on the Manaphy. I don't think it's important. I don't think it matters. So I don't want to do it, but I'm just scared of the Rotom getting bossed and then anything else on the bench getting bossed throughout the game. So I'd really like to grab an Iono and put him to a low hand count. Like, if they go for a boss KO Rotom, I'd love to Iono them to 1 and knock out a Charizard. So it is almost virtually impossible for them to establish another Charizard. That's kind of my plan. So we'll see what they do here. They're going to go for the Quick Surge. They might be preparing another Charizard. They use their Charmeleon, so there is no risk of that coming down. It does need to be Rare Candy Charizard. They have 2 candies. They have, one Charizard left. It's possible. Anything is possible. But I do just want to wait and see how they decide to play this hand out. The Charizard Mirror is always an interesting one. If they go for a Rope or something, then they just need boss to win. If we let them take a knockout, so they're actually gonna Iono us, which I'm okay with. Our hand was really dead. We were really on top deck mode, so us getting a bunch more cards is like completely fine to me. I'm really not mad about that at all. Again, if they just go for another, if they just go for one more turn of passing, I'm fine with that too. They're gonna go for an instant charge. I might as well go for an instant charge. Like, I'm not super mad. There's a Burn Brightly Charizard, and now I think I have like a plan here, and I'm pretty keen on it, because we can knock out the Manaphy with Armarouge, but like there's no point to knocking this Manaphy out. We're still forcing them to find some stuff. Never mind. Scratch that. We're gonna grab the Rare Candy still, and I'm debating what else I need. I mean, I guess it's gotta be Rigid Band, right? Because I'll go for Rare Candy. So now we're burning brightly, burning hot. I'm debating if Rigid Band ever means anything, but I don't think it does. So I'm gonna throw this here. I want to put Armarouge. I don't want to play Armarouge yet. I think I just want to instant charges. Now basically just a game of chicken. Who can thin more? Who can find their their way to take the next meaningful prize cards? Here, if they just have an energy, they can grab boss and they can boss Rotom. Then we can smack the Charizard and Iono them to 1. That's our game plan at this point. So we'll see what they do. I know it's like in a little bit of a stalemate right now, but I think you got to be patient with this mirror. You can't just go guns blazing, because you will be at a disadvantage. There's the boss that I'm like 99% sure is happening on the Rotom. Actually, they're bossing up the Burn Brightly Charizard. That's interesting. They're going to Jet Energy. Okay, they're playing the Jet, so they do have a switching out. So them taking a knockout on the Burn Brightly Charizard is interesting. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, because now we get the Iono play, and it makes it really hard for them to establish a Zard here. So I do want to put this Armarouge down. Do I want to put the Magma Basin down? I don't actually think it's tough. I don't think I do. I want to get rid of this Ultra Ball, and I do want to grab this Armarouge. It's not really a liability. It's got higher HP than everything here. I could put the Basin down, but I don't want to. I don't think it's important enough. And then I want to go for this Iono here. Ioning them to 2. It's gonna make it really hard for them to establish their last Charizard here. We get a Level Ball, we get a Rod. Level Ball's not really worth playing right now, because we're gonna shuffle all the cards we put to the bottom. We didn't really need any of them. We're trying to find our boss. That's what we're trying to find here. So yeah, we'll just Burning Darkness, take the KO, and now they basically got 3 cards to build a Charizard. Gonna be a bit difficult for them, I'm hoping anyway. We got Rare Candy Charizard off of the prizes, so if we put another Charmander into play with our Super Rod plus Level Ball, we could have established the Burn Brightly, but not really worth it here. At this point, we're just playing for boss now. They can just stall us with a 1 prizer, that is a possibility. And then at that point, though, I do think I'd actually go for an Armarouge play. But we'll see what happens here. This is the disadvantage of not having Pidgeot and playing Armarouge instead, is because though you're more versatile with your energy, and you have, I would argue, a lot stronger of an early game, because Armarouge is just a stage 1, and then you can Rare Candy, Zard, power it up, and then you can literally smash anything in your path, and it's so hard to get KO'd. Here comes the Pidgeot's Quick Search. We could be getting Iono'd here. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if we Iono'd. They retreated into a Charmander, and then they instant charged. That wouldn't really surprise me. However, at this point, there are no counter catchers going to be played, so they are going to have to find a boss Rare Candy Zard in order to win in any card combination. We have our Iono still, we have one more, we do have both bosses, so the chances that we find any of the cards we need, not low. Especially if we do get Iono to 2 cards left. There's 3 Iono down. Do they play the 4th or do they play the research is the question. I'm not sure which one they do. Like I said, at this point, we're just playing for the boss. Did we use the escape rope? We did. They have Rare Candy Charizard. There's no way. Wow. Okay, so Iono was a lie, as always. They got the Rare Candy Charizard. And wow, I'm shocked. I'm really surprised they found Rare Candy Zard. If they have boss, I'm actually going to be really mad if they have boss in hand. If they would ever decide not to move the Pidgeot, instant charge, we just win. We're playing for the boss, we basically need to find boss now because they could just boss the Rotom at this point. So yeah, pretty tough scenario to be in. Our other objective, maybe they have both other bosses prized, right? You don't know for sure. Our other objective is that okay, they're gonna retreat. They might go for a heat tackle here on this Charmander. That's another possibility. If they just want to poke us for 30 damage, then they go in with the Charizard and take the knockout. Another possibility there. My other the other potential thing that we have, which that looks like what they're gonna do, which is fine. My idea here is actually to retreat this Charizard, go into Armarouge, and hope they don't have boss. We have Iono. I do think that means we lose the game, unfortunately, but I would like to go all out with a bang here with this Armarouge. So I think we'll put Basin down. Again, we could just not take a knockout. That's another possibility. If we just don't take the knockout here, but then they just find boss off Pidgeot and they win. So yeah, that was really, I did not want them to get the Rare Candy Charizard off of our Iono to 2 cards. That was pretty tragic, I won't lie. I'm gonna hope they don't have any bosses left. Maybe they don't. We're doing 300 with Burning Darkness, so we'll have to go for an Iono play here. And at that point, we're gonna go for a Level Ball. Yeah, we have one boss. We have our rope still, so we could have went for a rope that would have brought up Manaphy. Wouldn't matter too much. But I think we do just want to Iono. Hopefully we find boss off the 2 cards here for next turn. We do find the boss, and now we just gotta pray that they do not have it. We will retreat into Armarouge here. And yeah, they need boss anyway to take a knockout. So I will fire off and put 2 here. Yeah, they need boss anyways. Or just counter catcher. So maybe I actually don't want to do that. Maybe I just want to instant charge. I didn't consider that. Maybe they do play the counter catcher still. If they do play the counter catcher, we don't want to go for the boss. We don't want to take the knockout here. Dang. Good thing I caught that. They probably do have it, going into the Zard. They probably have it. There's a quick search. They got to have the boss. We had to play to our outs. We almost got it, but I do believe that they found their last boss's orders needed. Good game for my opponent. Really just came down. That quick search is super strong, and we unfortunately couldn't get one more Charmander down in the beginning, but I still think a very good game and a very good showcase of this deck's power. So good game to my opponent. You know what? It was close, and that's all there is to say about it. So, what do you think of my Armarouge EX deck? I'm really happy with how this deck turned out. I was like, I want to make a fun video. I want to put I want to play something cool, but I also want to play something that you can use and that's actually decently strong. And you know what? I'm happy with how Armarouge turned out. Obviously, it has its faults. You're not playing a draw engine, so those late game Ionos can really hurt you if you're not prepared. But the thing is, because the deck is so focused on its setup, once you're set up and if you're getting Iono'd, then all the decks that are playing Iono right now are gonna struggle to one-shot Armarouge, right? So, you're actually okay. You don't mind, because then you just move your energies with the baby Armarouge, you move them to the active one, and then you blow up whatever they hit you with, and then because of Burn Brightly, you're 1 energy away from attacking with Charizard. Like, it's really cool, and I think this deck is kind of how people imagined that a Charizard EX deck would look when Charizard EX was first announced. I mean, this is how my friend Daniel built his Charizard EX deck when we were doing our Obsidian Flames tabletop previews. This is how, you know, kind of the style where Paul built his Charizard deck. Very combo-y. It had Arc, it had Pidgeot, it had both Charizards in it. You know, and I'm honestly, like, I'm happy. You could, like, streamline this deck even further, and I mean, I don't even know if you would, because I was gonna say you can play the 151 Charizard EX in here and then do 330 for 2 energy thanks to Burn Brightly, but that's like, you need 3 separate Charizards, turn 2 on 3 separate Charmanders. So I actually think the Armarouge EX solution is a little bit more elegant and a little more feasible to pull off, because you have Crimson Armor, right? Like, you can just take a hit, you know, as long as you're not getting turn 2 Star Requiemed or like turn 2 Path Lost Impacted. Actually, even if you have, what's it called? Rigid Band, Lost Impact doesn't KO, so you're fine in that regard, as long as you're not getting turn 2 Judge Path by Mew VMAX, like Judge Path triple tabbed. You're gonna survive a hit from that deck, as long as you're not getting like turn 2 Raichu plus Path from Miraidon, which they're never hitting anyway. Like, you're okay. And that's the thing, is like Armarouge lets you take a hit, it lets you tank some damage, and then you can move your energies off of it with the other Armarouge. You can hit with Zard, you can hit with the Armarouge, and then power up your other Zard with Burn Brightly. Like, there's so many cool places that could make, and I'm really happy that it turned out well. If I were to make any changes to the deck, I don't know. Like, like I said, I'm really happy with it. It does feel like sometimes you want a little bit more supporters. I could see you playing a 4th Iono, could see you playing more Colress, more research. Really depends on you. You don't need to play the 3 Rare Candy. I have chosen to play the 3 just for max consistency. And same thing, 9 energy just feels really right. You could go down to 8 and put something else in. I do feel like Lost Vacuum is something that I would want in here, so just keep that in mind. And with all that said and done, thank you so much for watching. Like this video if you enjoyed. I've been trying to put out a bunch of videos lately. I'm getting back into YouTube, and I'm really happy to be back. So subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. Like the video if you enjoyed this as well, and comment down below, what do you think of my Armarouge EX deck? What would you like? What do you dislike? What would you keep? What would you change about the list? And subscribe, yeah, because I'm posting multiple videos every single week here on the Hitmonchanting channel about competitive, about fun decks, about like tier lists. I do tabletop. I do it all over here, so please join me for the ride. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Hitmonchanting out.